Alright, it's recording time. So today, if you can hear the soundtrack, if it sounds familiar to you, that's because it should be. Well, I hope it is anyway. It's the Library of Ruina soundtrack, and today it's related to what we're going to be playing, or what I'm going to be playing. I'm going to be attempting. It is Risk of Ruina with the Eclipse modifiers on. Okay? So I'm not sure if Geb or the Red Mist, which I have the spoiler skin on, I'm not sure if she's possible considering how she's designed, but I'll just go with the Arbiter for now because she's very broken, and I'm actually confident that she can trivialize Eclipse, but that depends on how good I am. Anyway, yeah, reading up. It's time for us to go. Everything is a spoiler here, actually. But I won't talk about it, even though Ruina is one of my games of all time. Oh yeah, this background is from Tessed's theme, I think. I think that's how you pronounce it. It took me a while to respond because I'm not exactly sure how it's pronounced in the Kabbalistic sense. I mean, I know how they pronounce it in Ruina, but I'm not really sure how accurate that is, you know? Oh my fucking god. Yeah, these fuckers are the reason why I don't think Geb Eclipse is possible. Unless you get really lucky with the RNG. Well, I do have some quality of life mods enabled. I'll try to not use them as much as I can. There you go. Based. Such a pretty theme. Considering how fairy works, the part of Eclipse that makes them attack faster is actually beneficial for you. But you know, everything else isn't. But you know, that's much better than it being a straight debuff. And technically speaking, it does make enemies more predictable too. Oh, fairy is from the Library of Ruina mod. Black Sea, I mean. Basically lets you apply fairy on hit, even though I already apply fairy on hit, but these are actually separate instances of fairy, since you can proc 2 fairies with 1 hit. So yeah, I'm focusing up a bit because I really don't want to die here. I haven't reached the point where I can just turn my brain off yet. Because while Risk of Rain has the capability to be either the most stressful or the most chill game you've ever played, depending on the modifiers you include. And I'm playing Eclipse Hate modifiers. By the way, my only other successful Eclipse 8 runs that I didn't use modifiers on because, well, honestly, I'm just really lazy to grind out Eclipses 1 through 8 on every character, so I just did it legit with 1 and then bashed my head against the wall using the artifacts for the other. And that one character is Mercenary. I'm actually a Mercenary main, which is just another term for I like playing Mercenary the most. Also, where the fuck are the enemies? It's kind of worrying. There's a lot of multi-shops. So, okay. There they are. Where the fuck are they there? Move speed. Now things might look bad, but Is this just standard arbiter things? Also, I legitimately cannot hear the sound cues I'm looking out for because of the music, but you know, I'm actually not complaining. I fucking love Ruina music, man. It's amazing, amazing OST. Can't wait for Limbus. I will do everything in my power to document my playthrough of Limbus. I don't really mind it being a gacha game. I trust Project Moon enough with it. It's like a tool. It depends on what you do with it. It's not really inherently bad in its own. Gacha, I mean. An example that I really like coming back to for what do you call that? Good gacha design. I'm not sure if it still applies now since I haven't played it that much anymore. But Girls Frontline. It's one of my favorite gacha games, mostly because it never really feels like a gacha for me. I had a lot of time to play it, and then I guess the only problem is that it's kind of extremely grindy, right? But for me, that's not really a problem because it also means that the whales suffer the same amount, and they do. There's very little in the way of things you can purchase to help your characters that you can't really. There's very little in the way of that you can't really cheese things with it. I guess you can, like with the Digimind upgrades and stuff, but like everyone gets those, and they're not really what I would call that difficult to get. I mean, in my case, I've just been grinding for XP, and I got way too many. Like, I got way more things than I know what to deal with. I got way more XP than I know what to do with. And I got way more of the things. Oh my god, I forgot the names. The memory fragments, okay. I got way more of the memory fragments than I had any idea to deal with. So, like, never been an issue, scarcity. I need to focus up a bit. I might actually die here. Considering Ominous Pillar erases fucking projectiles, I'm not that worried about the Wisp. But I am worried about everything fucking else. Like that. Yeah, the Arbiter gets her claw. Let's go. And it's such a pretty theme. I don't like playing the floor, but it's such a pretty theme. Mostly because, like, I'm more of a fan of the Pipsodia, Bina, Eggsodia, and the Geb soloing types of playstyle, you know? Basically, I like solo, and, well, Chised's floor is probably the only floor that I'd consider strong that isn't related to soloing. Because if you think about it, well, I guess Black Silencer that counts, but every other floor that I can think of that's good or considered broken in the game, like Yesad's floor, Gebura, Bina, and even to an extent, in certain matchups, Hawkma, they all deal with stacking your buffs on one person, right? It just says like, nope, you're alive. I will keep you all alive. Because he's a Chad. Cheesehead is a Chad. Now depending on stage 2, we could get to hear Hod or Malkuth's theme, both of which are very good girls in their own right. And also pay no attention to the fact that I just Omega got that Shrine of Chance. It's one of the quality of life things I installed. Like slightly, or no, way faster actually. Way faster use times. God damn it, I'm at a constant loss for words because honestly, I'm not used to speaking with music blasting in my ears. I'm more of a sit still and listen kind of person. Also, I got the pre-script, which is one of the most broken item concepts I've ever seen for a game like Risk of Rain. 1% damage, 1% per stack by the way. 1% damage for each unique item you get in a roguelike where you basically get all the oh fuck. Okay. Okay, we got Tipra. Actually, I was wrong. It wasn't. It's Tipra and Netzach. Those were the stage 2 themes. I forgot. It's been a while since I played this mod and this game. But yeah, Tipra's actually my favorite character. Sometimes I wake up and I'm not Tipreth and I wonder what I'm doing with my life. Well, I guess it's better to say that, spoiler alert, but Lisa is my favorite character. There's 2 Tipreths. One of them is dead. But I prefer the alive one. I prefer the alive one's personality because the dead one, Enoch, he has his shit figured out. And I'm like, yeah, that's based, but I'm here for the people who don't have their shit figured out. And it makes for more interesting characters, like, you know, Rowan, Angela, every character in Ruina, actually. I don't think anyone has their shit figured out. Maybe the librarians have their shit figured out. Actually, yeah, the librarians do have their shit figured out. But, like, in the senses that matter, of course. Because they, like, for example, Tipreth does not have her shit figured out when it comes to not being at Tsundere. It's like, oh, I hate you, but no, everyone's like, no, you don't. Shut the fuck up, you don't. When even Yesod calls you on your bullshit, then you know it's bullshit. That motherfucker is repression central. And even he knows that you're not being genuine. How the fuck do you lose in a battle of emotional quotient to a man whose entire deal literally is repression? I don't get it, Tipreth. That's how not genuine you are with yourself. Also, Soldan Catalyst can be good in certain situations. I don't know why I picked it up actually. Why did I pick it up? I guess I wasn't paying attention. Also, I'm dying here. Unless, okay, no, I'm not that. That was a very suboptimal usage of Shockwave, but what can you do? Equipment drone. I can have an arsonist drone, sure. I'll name you Malka. Yeah. I don't have shockwave, so I'll back off here. That's like the only way I can deal with the flying pests. It's the shockwave. Another equipment, but I need another equipment. Okay, I'll get that. I need a bit more survivability at the moment. And I'll get that later after I do the teleporter event. But yeah, pay no mind to the timer. I'm a slow player. Well, I guess I'm a fast player that likes to take it slow. So, tactically advantageous player. I don't like playing fast if I'm not capable of playing fast, you know. Like, for example, if I'm playing Mercenary, then I usually reach Mithrix by the 35 or something minute mark. Or I can reach Mithrix. Usually I loop, it depends. But I can reach Mithrix in that time range. Because Merc is an extremely broken character. And Merc mains clamor for buffs, but Merc mains are also the first to admit that he's one of the most broken characters in the game. But I digress. Okay, let's Colonel Bowman to what is this? I got 2 fucking red items, both of which are situationally useful. I'm not gonna open that yet. I want to get an equipment. Another prescript. I won't have any issues with damage anytime soon. But yeah, the way fairy works in this game is that it's basically like you deal the amount of attack damage. Like you deal attack damage and you also proc stuff. Depending, like, based on the amount of times the amount of fairy stacks a person has. So for example, if one enemy has 10 fairy stacks and then they attack or they do a skill, they use a skill, they will get hit 10 times for like 100% or 80%. I'm not sure the percentage of my base damage. And then all of those instances can separately proc something. So, logically speaking, with 10 fairy stacks, that's 10 chances for an ATG to proc, for example. Which is, you know, fair and balanced. And, well, the red mist is also kind of broken herself, but she's a lot more situationally broken, you know? Then the arbiter was always actually broken. Also, the Clay Strider is kind of a pushover when you're using this character. Actually, a lot of things are pushovers when you're using this character. It's canonically accurate. But yeah, I'm doing Monsoon because if you didn't notice earlier, for some reason I don't have the Xena skin unlocked. I do have it unlocked on my other PC, but for some reason not here. I guess cloud saving doesn't really apply to modded Risk of Rain, but it does apply to base Risk of Rain. Okay, if it didn't, then I would have to fucking do Mercenary Ethereal twice, and I don't want to. I don't think that constitutes anyone's idea of a good time, right? Fucking no-hitting, then the no-hit success rate is basically solely based on your RNG. Because some are straight up impossible. Some are legitimately impossible to no-hit. Like they're not difficult, but it's just that no-hitting them is impossible. Like, for example, maybe you got all hit scan and you're playing Merc. What the fuck are you supposed to do there? You know? Also, I'm not taking the blue portal because the blue portals in this mod pack I made are extremely powerful, and I want to demonstrate. Fuck, I forgot to pick up the Void Creels. Anyway, I want to demonstrate how powerful this character is without those broken items. Also, oh my god, if I gotten like a poly loot, we basically would have won, like right there. Also, yes, this is the Backstreets theme. This is a new theme added to this mod. I guess it fits. Okay, I'm also fine with it because I've never really gotten the opportunity to listen to this theme properly. That does not look like an equipment drone. It looks like a ball. The crisp fairy sound effects drowned out by the music. Maybe I should turn up the sound a bit, but no, I don't want to. Because of Venus fairy stacks, like the loudness actually stacks. So if someone procs fairy while they have like 20 fairy stacks, you will know. You will hear it from across the map. You will know. Also, this is fine. It's oriented the right way. Okay. Teddy bear based. I don't have any trumps. That might be an issue. Might be an issue. I really need feathers to defeat Mithrix anyway. You'll see. Like, I would argue that playing this character it takes about as much skill as playing actual Bina in Library of Ruina. Like that's outside of abnormality bells. And this is I'm not throwing shade at the character or anything. I love her. She's one of my favorite characters, and she's also one of my favorite characters to play. But like, there's a reason why a lot of endgame boss solos are done with her. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. There's a reason. There's a reason why she's the default solo floor. Why the fuck do I have the 3 Old War stealth kits? Looking Netza cosplay right here. Except in this game, stealth is trash. You could scrap them actually. Yeah. I'll probably do that. I still don't know where the enemies are. I really hate it, dude. I'm playing these higher difficulties so that there's enemies, but there's no enemies. Also, what the fuck? My priorities are fucked. I shouldn't have done that. And also, instant scrapper, boy. Yeah, I guess like sometimes quality of life borders cheating, but given how I'm already using a modded character that has no regard for the balance of the base game, I might as well go all out, right? Well, with a few exceptions, I suppose. Oh yeah, Bina can also proc Deathmark from base on her own. She has 4 different debuffs she can apply, give or take, but it's enough to proc Deathmark. Because her 4th skill also has it has a stun and a slow and a weaken, so that's already 3. Okay, Chrysalis, good. I can skip pillars with that potentially. I have so too many prescripts actually. Prescripts are good. Actually, prescripts are kind of bad on Bina without the proc items to go with them, right? Because the reason why this character is good is, again, you can proc 10 things in one instance. Alright, an infinite amount of things on one instance. Depends on how many fairy stacks you put on someone, and they don't decay unless you stop hitting. So, theoretically speaking, you could reach up to the thousands depending on how tanky your enemy is, but usually, everything dies before then. Oh shit, feather. Don't mind if I do. I'll just get all of those. Much better than my stealth kits, right? Way better than my stealth kits. Okay. I think that's the majority of the loot, but there's still some loot I can get. I could go for an early. I could go for an. That's a bit too close. I could go for an early teleporter. Actually, yeah, I'll do it. I think I have enough money for the rest of things. Okay. I'm not sure if like I have enough damage because proc items are so necessary in this game. And it's like I would consider this as the arbiter's only weakness. You can get so far with a single proc item, but it's very possible for you to not get any at all. Okay, another one, but I'd rather save it. It says guest battle 3. Music playing in the background right now. It's quite based. It's also known as the theme where the purple tear zaps your active floor away to one that is completely unprepared, and you just have to watch them die, which is the optimal strategy aside from restarting the match over and over again for her to zap into the proper floor you actually set up the firing squad in. That's a different thing. You need to game RNG with that one. Okay, very nice. If it's still recording, then yes, welcome to what I have to deal with on a fairly regular basis. I'm not even sure if my game crashed or... Okay, it didn't. Alright. Yeah, I have to deal with this shit on a regular basis. I don't know why it happens, honestly. I mean, as seen with my previous video, my computer is prone to just dying out of nowhere, and like it's an upgraded computer too. Like with my older computer, I mean, yeah, it can't do this, whatever the fuck I'm doing right now. But just imagine, it was way weaker. But yeah, I don't have good setup or whatever. It's part of the challenge. At least that's what I like to think. But it has led to me becoming overall better at adapting to bad situations, because if the only way you can play a game is in the worst way possible, like slideshow FPS and whatnot, then that means when you get to play the game the way it was meant to be played, you're usually way better than you would have been otherwise. I say usually because aside from the cases of FPS affecting the game somehow, which is still very funny to me, by the way, that a fucking arbitrary number that determines graphics somehow has sway over the physics engine, but I guess it's fairly common. But whatever, it's still funny to me. But yeah, outside of those cases, there are also some games that are actually easier when they're lagging. And I'm talking about Toho and those kinds of games, right? I mean, of course, for your computer to lag playing Toho, you must have a very shitty computer. A computer that not even my computers aren't that shitty, at the very least. That's a claim to fame. I can run a game meant for like Windows XP without lagging. But yeah, in those games, lag is actually... it's a sign of you being a screw. You can enable lag mode. That's all you need to hear. And there's another one. Also, this is Abina's third theme. It's very nice. Sounds like a fucking movie trailer. The movie is called Old Woman Stomps on You and commits the highest form of CBT, wherein it's not only your C that's being T, it's your entire body, and every movement you make will kill you. And then she wants you dead. There is nothing sexual about the situation unless you are into that explicitly. In which case, a lot of people are, honestly. A lot of people are down bad for Bina and honestly Mood. But also, she will just straight up kill you. But that's also why a lot of people like her. She will just kill you. She'll probably have fun doing it too. But she's not even the one capable of killing people the most brutal way. Or in the most brutal way, that would be Geb. But she's the one who's more willing to kill people. Geb is powerful enough to be able to spare people, and so is Bina, but she just chooses not to. I'm talking about their previous lives, by the way, and it's just that it's better to, or it's easier for me to refer to them by their current names rather than by their past life names, you know? Because in Lobotomy Corporation and Ruina, almost everyone has 3 names there. Bina has 2. Bina is a special location, it has 2. And I guess technically speaking, Angela and Hawkma and the main character also only have 2 names, but you know, a majority has 3 names. I mean, I guess it's not really a thing, as more so it is a theme with some of the characters and not an actual rule, you know. But yeah, this is my damage with no ATG or no ATG, no ukulele / Palu, which is the best item on this character, by the way. But then again, Palu is the best item in general. Just a shit ton of bleed. Look at that. Look at those 50 stacks. every time it attacks or casts a skill, it just gets absolutely demolished. Okay, okay, that's the Arbiter's Trophy. That's Geb's arm because Navina cut it off during their final duel in their previous lives. But yes, this gives a 1% chance for any attack to lock the enemy, and lock is what this is. It's like it locks them in place. It's also a surprise tool that will help us later. But yeah, it's also this item is like, good on characters like Commando and again Bina. Because if you have 100 fairy stacks, that's 101% chances, which does not add up to 100% by the way, but it's still a lot. It's a lot of chances. And you'll also be attacking on top of that, you'll also be hitting them with other things on top of that. A 1% chance is actually kind of good, honestly. When you take into account everything that goes into the equation, take account everything in the formula, the attack speed, the frequency that enemies cast their spells due to monsoon, eclipse modifiers, and so on. 1% becomes way too much for that attack, like that kind of attack. It's so broken that with a Clover, I have stunlocked Mithrix to death before. Like Clover backup mags and oh shit. Clover backup mags and fucking Arbiter's Trophy, that item. And also, I'm getting rid of my Claw for a Talon. Well, a Talon isn't a thing in... a Talon isn't a thing in fucking Ruina. It might as well be, considering all of the bird imagery that goes into that game. And the fact that the claws and talons are pretty close. Also, this game really wants me to go to the bazaar. I won't because, again, I told you it's fucking broken, but... that's two naturally spawning blue portals. Also, I was wrong. That earlier was actually Bina's second stage theme, the one that sounds like a fucking movie trailer. This is her third theme. Which actually still sounds like a movie trailer. Why? I'll blame movie trailers, dude. The fucking, like, at least in Bina's theme, it's thematic. Movie trailers just do it for no good reason. And I play piano. I'm not good at music theory, but I know my way around the keys. I know my way around the funny sounds that elicit emotions in people. Somewhat, more or less, right? And I mean, I'm not the only one who shares that sentiment that movie trailers really need to stop using classical pieces. Because it doesn't make any fucking sense for you to use them. It's also the same reason why classical elitists are the funniest things on the planet. A lot of classical musicians, like actual classical musicians, also enjoy other forms of music, but classical elitists are so funny. Okay, time for stage 5, I think. Yeah. Which is, this is Yesod's theme. Also known as the theme of the man who is going to... The theme of the purple guy, the theme of the man behind the slaughter. The theme of the man that will kill you really fast. At the very least, Yesod makes it quick, right? Although, considering how his definition of quick is like 10 bullets to the face, I guess it's still painful, but it's something. Are there any, like... where's the shrines of combat? Where's the shrines of the mountains? Where's the shrines? Also, because I have Murph now, I have the Molten Perforator. I don't even need an ATG anymore. I just want to get as much movement as possible before going to Mithrix. And I can skip Mithrix, so this will be fairly quick. Okay. Opportunity to get a void item. Oh, that's not good. Not good. I might get fucking deported to Brazil, to the outskirts, effectively, I guess. But unlike the outskirts, you can't get out of the void once you're put in there. With an asterisk, because I think defeating Voidling makes you get out of the void somehow. But it's also possible that it's just been toying with you, you know. It's definitely what the logs imply, but why it doesn't really have any reason to fake its own death, does it? Unless it's that sadistic. It's like this is something good about Risk of Rain's world building too. It's how you never really know, because you don't know why this thing is doing the things that it does, and that really helps it with like. It's an alien species, so of course, their reasoning would be alien to us. And this is an example of something that is better off not being explained, and they don't explain it, which thankfully they don't. Because if you try to explain it, and then like it's in a way that us as humans can rationalize it, it can be interpreted as very stupid. Sniper scope. Okay. Insta kill. Oh no. That's the wrong scope. That was from the modded scope. The Risk of Rain 1 scope was the insta kill. Now I just deal more crit damage, of which wasn't really an issue. I guess if I could have gotten anything, I would have preferred to get head stompers. Head stompers are very broken. Easily the best item in the game in terms of, well, like the best singular item in the game. It would be better with other items, but like in that vein, every item is better with another item. Elder Lemurians aren't really an issue inside the pillar field because the fireballs get absolutely demolished. Stun grenades can actually be detrimental to your DPS on this character because of like more or less, a stun grenade is guaranteed to proc every time they hit, but that makes them hit less, you know. Of course, because they're stunned, they can't hit. And lock also adds to that as well, because there's a stand for them to be stunned and locked, or stunned and then locked in a proc chain. It's like just more hours, more seconds of the enemy not being able to attack, and thus the enemy not being able to proc their fairy stacks. But yeah, Leeching Seed is extremely powerful with this character. Everything is extremely powerful with this character. Usually I wouldn't pick up Razor Wire, but for reasons that you will see later on when I fight Mythics, it doesn't matter. Like, seriously, it doesn't matter. And the way I will kill Mythics is so anticlimactic, but fairly in character too, actually. Now that I think about it. Well, it's in character in the way that it showcases, like, if you'd actually do this, like, this character would actually do this in a real battle, then it showcases their character growth. And I guess technically speaking, Bina does do something like the thing that I will do to Mithrix in the end of Ruina. And she even chides her subordinate for it. This is a very weird bunch of spoilers, because as you can tell, I am spoiling a lot of things, but I'm also refusing to spoil other things, right? I'm in this weird middle ground of spoil and not spoil, and I'm sorry. a lot of things I don't spoil because I just forget how they went, or I'm not confident in my ability to recall, or I'm not confident in my recollection of them, since it has been a while since I played Ruina. Well, not necessarily. It's been a while since I played Ruina story mode. I played Ruina a lot for the Limbus Company mods. And I'm not sure if you saw the Steam handle at the beginning of this video when I loaded in, but yeah, you should know. If anyone of you can read Kana, you should know who the fuck I'm simping for in Limbus Company. And I guess you could also technically extrapolate who I ship them with, but that's only if you're in the very specific niches that I am in. Let's go, Iron Lotus. Let's not go Overloading Worm. Okay, despite Venus brokenness, I still have to be careful with this worm. Because as you can see, even though it's locked, it can still move. It's probably the only, like, that and the Magno Worm. Like, the worm enemies are probably the only enemies that can still move despite being locked. Fucking worms, man. But yeah, that messed up. Yep. If only I got a Murph. God, I fucking love this theme, dude. Thank you, Millie, for being a part of the Project Moon experience. Oh yeah, for obvious reasons, Bandolier is broken on this character. Sus? Imposter? I've consumed so much Imposter Shao memes that it's just a way of life for me now. I unironically enjoy it. At first it was like, haha, funny dragon woman crewmate, but now I genuinely enjoy the dragon woman crewmate images. Yes, it is ironic. It's no longer ironic. I now have an Among Us issue. Whenever I see Among Us, like, yes, Among Us. It gives me the happy chemicals. It's like, okay, to be fair, it's a good thing. It's the opposite of a lot of people's experiences with Among Us memes, in which they're just tired of it and want the meme to die already. No, I want it to keep going. I'm that type of person that still dabs in 2022, you know? You can call me a boomer, but it's just because when I genuinely enjoy something, no amount of pressure can make me stop enjoying, you know? Even though it sounds like I'm following a fad, in reality, I'm just adapting something for myself, and then it's just me. It's just mine forever. So, safer spaces is, like, my opinion on safer spaces is that, like, a lot of people are like, it's better to have tougher times than safer spaces, statistically speaking, until you have enough safer spaces for the cooldown to not be an issue, or for the block to basically be guaranteed. But the thing is, I rarely get hit with meaningful hits, or like ever, playing things like Mercenary. And in those characters, if I get hit once, I just die. Like, straight up. I just die. So it's much better for me to have one guaranteed block against a big source of damage that's generally what hits me and kills me anyway. It's not the majority of chip damage that kills me as Mercenary, but it's those big hits, singular hits, that I can't really risk taking. You know? Yeah, it's time for me to fly. Wait, what's this? Free script. Yeah, as if I need it anymore. With an afterburner, it's actually theoretically possible for you to climb this, like with a hardline afterburner, it's theoretically possible for you to climb this with your utility, Espina. If you're not using the pillar throw, which I don't know why it exists, by the way. Ah, yes. one of the best themes in the game. Yeah, well, look at this. It's not even a challenge, dude. It's not even a contest. With safer spaces, I can play even more risky. Although I guess this phase is a bit more of an issue, given how I have no AoE to speak of. Okay, I took some unnecessary damage there. Oh my god, these fuckers can still fire despite being locked as well. Okay, I didn't know that. That's usually because I have enough ATGs for this phase to not be an issue. I have so much single target, but nothing in the way of AoE. Or I guess I have AoE, but it's not like the good AoE. It's like the AoE that requires them to be grouped up, and not the AoE as in I will go to the other side of the map. AoE. Motherfucker literally said die twice, hello? Come up with another thing to say, Mithrix. But yeah, as you can see right now, I effectively have a 30 procs. I'm actually kind of thankful I didn't get that many attack speed items because it would be impossible to render. Also, yes, this is what I mean by... Yep. I can just lock him, even when he's immune. Which, well, I'm just going to spoil this part of the Lobotomy Corporation, but the reason why Bina's past life died was because she was grandstanding to Gabura's past life. And then because she was like, oh, I got your arm, you can't. And then she's like dangling the arm over her. Gab was like, fuck you, I'm taking you down with me. And then in an act of something that has been considered very homosexual by the fan base at large, she stabbed her through the chest. Only in Ruin, only in Project Moonrise. But anyway, there's something of a callback to this in the final scene of Ruina, because another arbiter shows up. It's Bina's Bina's former colleague of unknown relation. People assume she's like some sort of daughter. It's a common headcanon. It's one that I also follow. Some sort of mother-daughter figure. Wherein Xena is the aforementioned daughter, because Xena's speech makes it seem like she knew Bina in the past life. Well, it's not really revealed. But anyway, there's an opportunity for Xena to like kill shot the characters you're using, which is in that case it's Gebra and Roland. But Bina's like, if you only knew how to stop talking, maybe you would have won, because she comes in with the dispel, with the unlock. Okay, the game is over. Woo! And for some reason, the final cutscene has the first cutscene's music playing. This is a subtle suggestion by the mod creator. After you're finished with Risk of Ruina, go play actual Library of Ruina. It's actually ingenious. And bullshit. I'm not sure if that's the intent, but I'm going to assume that was the intent. Anyway, yeah, I got Arbiter Mastery. And speaking of Xena, I'm set. Yeah, I was going to let this play out for a while. It's been a long time since I listened to this song, actually. Yeah. Yo, look at that Lemurian. Ah, God, this game is so fun. Also, I completely, I completely forgot I was playing. I completely forgot I was playing Eclipse. But whatever. Yeah, an arbiter, most broken character I've ever seen in my life. Look at these items. These items are dog shit. And I've dealt 1 million damage. Okay. Yeah, the only actual proc item I have is Molten Perforator. Bleed technically, but I don't really want to. I don't want to bleed mythics to death, you know. Okay, anyway. I might. Speaking of Xena, like this isn't Xena, but the form of the thing. The form of the, what do you call this? The coat is a lot closer to Xena's. But that's mostly because Geb has this thing where she wears one arm a bit off to the side. It's the bitch slapping hand, you know. Xena holds both of her hands under the coat, I think, if I remember correctly. But anyway, yeah, go play Library of Ruina.